Yep, there we go.
Whoops.
Oh. Oh, shall we start?
Go for it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Doink TV. Some might have a few difference of opinions, some might even spell it wrong, but what is certainly not wrong is, of course, where we are in the tournament itself. It is the grand final. There is no change in the commentary booth, but Spooks, how are you?
I'm still doing wonderful. Sadly, not with you, but we'll survive. We'll survive.
Will we?
No, but that doesn't matter
Okay.
because all that matters is some good Rocket League, Danny. And who do we have on our plates tonight?
Well, so simply like that there, it's Recken, who we saw earlier, and the Jungle Juicers, the two lineups as well. And based on roughly what the seating was, basically on who the teams is, I would have got the grand final wrong if you asked me for a prediction.
I think I would have gotten Recken Rockets because I trust the boys, but no, Jungle Juice just made a run where me and Azumel in the green room are just sitting there like, okay, what? How? Yes? Okay, sure. Do it. Go for it. Because they went through Essence. They went through Dustsucker. They went through AWAB. And now they're here. Let's see if they can do it once more and take home the grand prize, Danny.
Certainly, that is what they'll be looking to do. But what is a little bit extra special, we have moved to the best of five itself too. So an extra few games required potentially if needed here. And what is needed is a defence here. We've opened up from the semi-final, identically here in the grand final, wide open.
Is this just a bit of a reverse thing for Recken Rockets? Getting this exact thing done to them in game 1 in their last series, and now they do it to Jungle Juicers. Isn't it nice?
Well, I hope they're not wanting the same result too.
Well, losing 2-1. They can't do that, Danny. They still have another series, another game.
Yes, but if it has happened in game 1, I said results. I didn't say in game 3 too.
We move on. Psy!
No, we won't.
Looking
We're
looking for a hit up. Looking at get it straight on down. Psy is feeling it. Making Danny finally not talk.
That won't be happening anytime, Spooks, and you know that well and truly enough. Oh dear, why did I say yes to cast with you?
Because it's fun and it's nice to do. And Scream is getting a third. What is going on then? Are we really just reliving Recken Rockets against Trailer Park Boys, but then switch around Recken Rockets for Trailer Park Boys? What is going on?
You just described exactly what is going on.
I know, but I'd like to ask you, Danny. I want your opinion.
I don't have an opinion that differs from that, Spooks.
Boring. What isn't boring so far is for Recken Rockets to get this type of start, but are they going to be able to hold on for long enough? Of course, 4 minutes. It's a really long time, but if they're looking for 4, they're actually not. That's a surprising thing that we saw right there, Danny. Recken Rockets, all of two people sitting back, just not wanting to commit to go into offense.
Why would you? Why would you when you're in that sort of comfortable mood? And oh, right, okay.
Because of this. Now I'm letting you do it, Danny. Go for it.
Lovely weather we're having.
Is it? It's raining.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's dark outside for me.
Maybe turn on a light.
Might just do that. And speaking about lights, maybe we may have a bright idea on how to defend the net a little bit better, as we've just seen. No, we won't.
I doubt it. As Dosis exactly does what I just said. And this is why I said we have 4 minutes left, because within 30 seconds, it is 2-3.
This is your grand final.
Just
And
that
this-
that's up. No, go for it, Danny. I was just gonna say that, Gab. This is the grand final, yeah.
Yeah,
It is.
it is. Are you just checking the bracket just to make sure there?
Yeah, I actually was. You
All
wanna do
right.
something else, Danny?
No, I don't.
Okay, then not. Then we'll move on with this ball almost going in. Almost the third one coming in from Jungle Juicers. And for Recken Rockets, You probably would like to get a 4th goal in the net, as Cream almost does that alone, but Tosis gets it past one. Mira getting it 4th once again. Zeto now under control, takes the patience, takes the control. I just saw a flying scream that did not hit the ball, but we'll move on to Zeto, who now finally lost control, but still getting the 50s.
Thank you. That's a nice little air drag up and down here. Scream just tips that one to the side of Zeto, so 2 consecutive hits in the right direction is always useful. Pass 1, pass. Unfortunately, nobody the second time around, so just like that, chance opens up here. And for a game that started 3-0, we find ourselves approaching half-time with a 5-3-2 split. And just when we were just somewhat understanding the game, I think both of the two sides have decided to change what their strategy are.
It really does feel like that, but whichever will be the winning strategy, only time can tell. And for now, Jungle Juicers still need 1 more goal. They still need to get back into this. Can't get it this time around. And double commit coming out, but it does not get punished. Scream to the side, looking for the pinch, hits it high. That's actually a really controlled touch that I did not expect him to have, but it just doesn't lead to anything. And that's the problem for Recken Rockets. Once again, nothing really leads to anything.
I didn't know you were the criteria judge on style control as well as techniques books.
Are you happy with that, Danny?
I am, yes.
Are you proud of that? And Psy getting it into the middle once again with the 50. Zeto not being able to do much, and it really does seem that you talked about a switch of style. I think Recken Rockets has changed their style into let's just waste the time.
Can you blame them when they're 3-2 up and based on how the last 2 goals have just conceded went in?
No, I cannot blame them, Danny. But I will, because I want some more excitement. I want to see more goals. I want to see more action.
I want to see defense. I want to see no more goals. I want the clock to run to 0 and see game 2. But looks like I'm not going to get one wish there, and that's the 4th goal runs on in, so comfortability has been established here.
Re-established is what you should be saying, as of course, let me remind you, Recken Rockets started this game after like 30 seconds with 3-0 up.
No disagreement there. I think we can all at least allude to the fact that it is a drop, at least in terms of what could have been, and that shot is wide, tipped away with the eventual, I was going to say Sia, but I think that'd be even too kind here. Is that one back down, back in, and whipped away to the side.
Psy hitting it down, just letting the clock run on down. That's what Scream is doing as well, but the ball still in the blue half. No one getting it away. Zeto looking for maybe a 5th. Psy a bit too aggressive right there. The passing play is coming out. Tosis hits it high, but no one there to commit to it or help out or get it on target even. As Mira blocked off, but still with the 50, and this 50 goes the other way.
I think just like that, I think it'd be fair to basically conclude game 1's over. The 4-2 scoreline here favouring the side that started their semi-final match pretty much not up to standard, not up to this, what we would say, ready for champions at this level. It took them a while. I think this time around we can't say this time because, frankly, they have got to 4-2. But I'm not convinced here, Spooks.
Not convinced is Danny Boy. That is a harsh, harsh thing to hear.
Is it?
Yes, definitely, Danny. You don't know how much power your words hold to us poor souls.
Alright, what's the insult this time, Spooks?
Oh, nothing.
Okay.
I can be nice sometimes, you know, Danny.
Yes, that's it once every blue moon.
Well, look aside, Danny. Is the blue moon yet?
No.
No, so I'm gonna bully you a bit more. But not yet. I gotta do it when you don't expect it. When you least expect it. That's where you have to strike. Just like this strike from Mira. But sadly enough, it's not on target.
Well, I wouldn't say it would be least expected, Spooks. I always expect it from you, so it would be pointless to even suggest that as the ultimatum. But as Sai tips that one up, and once more we just see a car flying around and a pinch in between that one. I think both sides are just happy to, how could we say it, play loose tonight.
lose maybe the best analogy that you can make out of this, Danny. It's a hard match to call in that manner, but Mira has some control right there. Can get the 50, but the 50 just leads to almost nothing, I want to say. But he gets it past one, and then the second. And with the crossbar on down, it's a 1-0 lead.
You just saw the 50 and you just saw Scream hit the brakes as quickly parsleyed across, but not quick enough after the eventual breakthrough. Didn't take much, mind you, and just like that there, no 3-0 quick leads here. It's a pretty much sort of standard start, but we were somewhat hoping for familiarity ground, and that is on the ground here. Toss done well to whip and move and slowly shay the ball to the side there.
Surtex getting it into the middle, or at least trying his best, but once again on the backward Scream, patiently waiting, looking for the bounce setup from the ground onto the ceiling. But it's not working out for him this time around, and still people just waiting for it. But Psy, beautiful speed. Shadow helping him out with the 50. Now Tosis has to be careful. Ball into the middle, a bit too high. No one being able to commit to it. Scream eventually does get a touch onto it. But you always feel like for Recken Rockets, there's a bit of a second man missing.
Second? How about a third as well too?
No, because they're actually defending now.
Are they?
But if they can save this one, yeah, they are. They are.
Okay. Okay. Maybe we might have seen that change that was desperately required as that ball's been forced into the 50, tipped away if it goes past across, and Seto is around, so Spook is right with the third man is definitely there this time.
Psy has to be patient, has to wait for Tosis to hit it onto the wall. Tosis almost with the goal, almost with the second one, but can't get it past Psy, who was waiting for it. And Surtex could touch away back to Mira with the control. But sadly enough, nothing you can really do, because every time you try to take control, there's someone just waiting to 50 you. A Scream takes it high, takes it past, or at least attempts to. But still, it leads to nothing. It just feels like they are opening every single door, Danny. And just every single one of them runs into a wall.
I know that feeling far too well, as that one off the crossbar eventually creeps on down for two. Eventually the wall will tumble. Just have to bring a big enough hammer to the party.
The sledgehammer has a hit into the wall, and past it was glory. Glory for Jungle Juicers, who are now 2-0 up in this game too. Still everything to fight for, still have the game to go. But for Recken Rockets, you've had one shot total so far, maybe a second run right now. Psy! He is a miracle when he gets going.
Not too late, not too bad either. Right down, right at the target. And Joe wants a tighty finish too. You will be pleased with that one. That is certain. What, however, with all the excitement is they still need to grab a second one. They cannot celebrate too quickly, but maybe we might see take two. Take two! Unfortunately, take two wasn't as good as the first time.
As Jungle Juicers, you must be afraid. And Zedo gets this one. It's a bit easier than what Psy tried to do. But if you're Jungle Juicers, the second you see Psy going into the air with a bit of control, you must be shaking in your boots right now.
I'm not.
Yeah, but you're not playing, Danny.
Oh yeah, what a shame.
No, thankfully. Otherwise, I would be sleeping by now.
You'll still be sleeping even just listening to me.
Almost am, Danny, but at least the gameplay is making up for some of these things. Scream, pass onto Psy, taking it slow, taking it easy, but Psy maybe asked a bit too much of that, and now you're in an awkward position. Mira can't get the double, but the follow-up there is not good enough either. And it means that Psy, once again, to the wall. Mira has control, but what can you do with it? Well, you get bumped away by Scream. That's your reward, but the reward lies a bit further.
Straight at the ripple of the net there. Fabulously gets around to setup. Will be a tad annoyed with the eventual outcome where that dropped 3-2. 3-2. All the hard work taken away just like that there. The lead back within the blue column eventually. Now let's see how long it may last.
Scream going for that solo play, but Tosis is just waiting for it patiently. He doesn't care. It's not that hard for him. Zedo, no shot on target for him, and it means that Psy once again has to do it by himself, but not enough boost. Scream, awkward position, leads to no real hit, and Mira can go for the fourth. A good flip reset leads into it.
Just needed one opportunity, and that's all that was required there. No fooling around. Job done. And do you know what? It was a position out of the keeper's hands too, and I'm not even humour at the thought of 2 goals to being scored back in response, but we have seen some strange things tonight.
We definitely have, but a 2-goal is just a bit too much, Danny. Psy trying his best though to bait out the defenders. Eventually Zedo does get a good touch. Can he get it into the middle? It's back to Scream, but the ball goes under him. Dosis with the 50. Psy now in a good position actually. If the shot is on target, Psy! He does it again! How does he get it from that angle?
This game is unjust. How good do you have to be to hit the post, sacrifice yourself, and somehow still scored? He somehow accidentally walked himself onto a chessboard, checkmated the player, and also played bowling at the same time and got a strike. How does he do it?
I don't know how he keeps doing it, but Daddy, your prediction has just been wrong. Scream getting the fourth, and we're back tied up.
I wouldn't call it a predictions books, but it is certainly one that was put across the minds for everybody who is listening to this game with 30 seconds left here. Is there going to be a winner? Well, there has to be one, whether it be an OT or not. That's where we're alluding to, because Scream fakes it out. It's now a 3v1. There is a passing option. Will it be the pass? No! But past the keeper at the last few seconds of this very much complex mind twist of a game.
What are we witnessing, Danny? What are we witnessing? How did this game go from 2-0 to 2-2 to 4-2 to 4-4 and now a 4-5, 13 seconds left? And I would not be surprised if another one goes in for either one of these two teams. Gustosis is in the air with the flip reset. What can you do? Tries to get the Musty. It's in the middle. It's a bit above target, but Tosis under control. Not getting it on target though. Psy blocking it off with the pinch, Danny. The pinch, bringing it back into the middle. It's still in a good spot. Sirtex tries to drop it low. Tries to take it slow. But in the end, Recken Rockets wins this mystery of a game 2. What are we looking at?
I don't know where to begin. Maybe at the beginning of game 2 might actually help, but that's a sentence.
No.
All right,
Where does it begin?
we'll skip the beginning. We'll go straight to.
What is the beginning in game 2, Danny? Is it at the 2-0 lead? Is it at the 2-2 tie? Is that the 4-2 stand? Where is the start of that storyline?
I'm going to start at the 5-minute mark at the kickoff.
Because the best.
Yeah, because frankly, if you watch those moments go by, you just thought, what, how, and huh? And you still wouldn't believe your eyes.
If there's any game that I ever want to show to people, that's probably the one. Not because it's a masterclass of wonderful gameplay. I mean, we did get some really good goals. Mainly because it was really funny. And Zedo, game 3, looking to try and sweep Jungle Juicers. But then again, Danny, we cannot predict any lead to stay because, I mean, we've seen this match play out so far.
I don't think we've seen enough spooks.
You want more madness, Danny. You want me to lose my voice.
I think you might lose your voice, your mind, and the eyesight too. That's how wild and wicked this pass has been so far here. Is Psy once more. You just thought it may have been goal number 2, but unfortunately decided to run away from the eventual opportunity.
If I lose all of that, Danny, I'll just look more like you, but the ones who are not looking like that are Recken Rockets, trying to sustain this offensive pressure. Scream now onto the side, and Scream has been a bit of the difference maker. When he feels good, when he starts to be more aggressive, more in your face, this team runs so much smoother. And I mean, of course, if Psy's hitting your shots like that, like we've seen so far, I mean, that also helps.
Can do. Certainly will improve also the confidence of the player, and unfortunately Jossel's there got a touch to it 2-0, so I'm going to be bold here and say that's normality restored, but how long will that last? 30 seconds?
Maybe. But then again, Danny, speaking of confidence, if you're Jungle Juices right now, where has your confidence gone? Because losing 2 big leads like that, and now being down 2 goals, it is not the nicest feeling, as Certex once again tries to get it into the middle, but no one really dared to help him out, all by himself. Zedo misses the ball. Also not working out for you. You've got to hit the ball, boys. It's got to be a bit of part of your gameplay at this moment, as Psy does hit it.
Love how it just sits there in the front of the box, just waiting inside, just going, I've been missing. I might just stand here and the ball eventually will come through. It's not a bad theory, as that shot will be wide in between it. But I'll dance a little bit further to the problem, or the thought process is technically an own goal has just went on through. Was about 30 seconds before the madness resumed.
Yeah. I mean, it's not even an own goal. It's an own self-play. Because Psy hit it forward and then it got finished by Scream. There was no enemy involved in making that goal, truly.
So what we're really saying, it's 3-0.
Almost, with just the wrong net. But Psy, trying to make it a 3-1, back into the middle. Zedo decides the better of it. Does not want to commit to the ball. Instead, tries to pass it to Psy. It's a good way to control your ball possession. Still, no the third goal just yet. And I think for Recken Rockets, you want to get as many goals in when you can, because we've seen the madness of the series.
Don't think anybody can forget. Of course, you can watch at any time, as Tosses will be looking, and he will be wondering how did that one go away from him. Escapes his grasp, goal number 2, but Sai, he does not let that ball let through his iron grip. That's how tight he can be. Unfortunately, the game itself here has just slightly died down there.
Tosses hitting it high. Looking for the solo play, looking to get that second goal in favor of Jungle Juices, but a double commit leads to some spacing for Recken Rockets, and now you have to be careful when the passing plays start to hit. It is Zedo who punishes the double commit.
I'm trying to work out. Right, that explains how he got there. I'm not saying, but it's like he just went on to a park bench and just dangling his feet off it.
I mean, it's
Didn't do
hard for
anything.
Certex, though, because you're looking at Scream, and you must think to yourself, okay, he's going to hit it on target, most likely. He's going to look for that redirect, and in the end, he decides to just pass it up for Zedo. You know, casual things, as Psy. Looking to do it just casually, get this ball on net once again. This time, no miracle being worked by him, but he has to try again once more, but Zedo helping him out with the 50. And it seems that Recken Rockets is just outspeeding Jungle Juices at this moment.
It's a fantastic pass and a better back pass there for Zedo to do whatever he would like to achieve with this ball. Unfortunately, I don't think that would be ideal. As Tosses near, I wouldn't say own goal, but plays it across his own box on their side to do his thing again. And, well, I'm going to blame the pass. It never got to him.
The pass has been blamed by Danny Boy, and that's how you know it probably wasn't a good one anyway. But Mira looking to show you how to pass, but sadly enough, maybe a bit too hard, or it was a setup for himself. We will never know. But eventually the ball is still not in the net, and you're looking at Jungle Juices. You need a goal right around now, because you don't want to make this goal wait too long. Scream now hits it to the side once again, trying to make sure the time keeps on running down. Mira getting blocked off. There's a third man lying in wait. Back to Mira we go. It's in front of the net, but Zedo, the patience, the control, just relaxed, but still has to be careful.
Don't think careful can be allowed at this moment with 30 seconds left here. This needs to be full pelted, and Zedo, he took his time, he took stock of the situation, and he just moved it to the side. Not too bad here. Sai likes to move that one in front of the net with 20 seconds left. I think maybe just the champions certainly in waiting.
Scream gets it on target, and yeah, that's all it, Danny. I think it's GG's get it going, and that is hard to deal with.
I think the teams have fairly concluded themselves. They know it's CG's. We know probably a bit earlier, but hopefully you at some has enjoyed so far the second Doink itself, because do you know what? It did take two. Now we know who eventually was the one.
Seto getting it on target. Simple as that. Getting himself a hat trick. And all I can say, Danny, is GG's to Recken Rockets. A deserving win. And for people who don't know the context of them, they are currently on a bit of a steamroll. And they're just going to keep on rolling, rolling, rolling. As Scream makes it a 1-6.
No more goals, no more time, but there is only one result that really matters, and that is the 3-0, what we've just witnessed here in the grand final for the €150 prize pool. 75, of course, for them. Don't get me wrong, it's not a bad prize pool, but it's not what necessarily these players really care about in the grand scheme of things.
Maybe not, but then again, you're looking at this and it's always just what you like to see. And let me correct you, Danny. First is €150. Of course, we partnered up with Shaman for this weekly. And that means that we have a 150 going to first place. Still Reckon Rockets, we have 75 going to second place. And then for third, €25. Again, let me remind you, helped by Shaman Esports and of course ourselves, Doink. So not too bad, not too shabby now, is it, Danny?
It's not too bad. You can't sit there and say no to that, but what you can't certainly say no to is, of course, the next weekly too. Don't be afraid to sign up. The link is probably down there below on Twitter as well as in the Discord. But Spook, sadly, that is us out of games and us out of a broadcast too.
Us out of a broadcast, us out of a cast, and us looking into the future, Danny, when we meet again. But for all of you, like Danny said, sign up for next week. It will be a blast. But up until then, till next time.